Hello, drama lovers, welcome to my Young and the Restless official channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Before we dive into today's content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and show some love by giving this video a like up. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Monday, March 24th, state that Victor Newman will devise an Aristotle Dumas plot, while Phyllis Summers experiences a meltdown and Sally Spectra makes a revelation. Billy Abbott will discuss Phyllis's issues with Sally at his house. Sally will assume that there is a cosmic rule that says if you save someone's life, you are forever tied to them. Despite Sally's concern, Billy will make it plain that he prefers to be friends and colleagues with Phyllis. The athletic club, Michael Baldwin will reassure Victor that their Glissade spies are well entrenched and unnoticed. Michael promises to provide further details after Glissade has been completely integrated at Jabot. Conversation will shift to Aristotle Dumas, so Michael will provide updates on his investigation. Michael refuses to believe Aristotle is targeting Winters or that his Damian Kane connection is anything more than a coincidence. Victor would eventually reveal his competitive history with Aristotle, who vanished following their feuds and refused to take the bait to return. Victor will be concerned about why Aristotle is resurfacing now, so Michael will be urged to continue digging. According to Y&R spoilers, Victor will decide to use Devon and Lily Winters to his advantage when hunting out Aristotle. Sally returns to Billy's house and notices that someone has attempted to contact him via phone. Sally will comment on the caller's name, which is Aristotle Dumas. In Phyllis Summers' suite, she will suffer a complete breakdown as Summer Newman and Nick Newman insist on entering after her awful dream. Phyllis will vehemently reject needing assistance, but she will eventually fall in Nick's comforting embrace as she spins out from all her pain. Despite what transpired in captivity, it will be difficult for Phyllis to simply disregard all the years of her rivalry with Sharon Newman. Nick will ultimately get inspired, and he will text Sharon to meet him at the cafe. Sharon will clear the air with Daniel Romalotti Jr. at Society, leaving him wondering if she is truly moving past her hatred against Phyllis following their mutual abduction tragedy. Sharon won't know how long she can maintain this détente with Phyllis, but she'll make some optimistic forecasts and expect to heal wounds with Daniel as well. Sharon will immediately go to Crimson Lights once she understands Nick needs her there. Sharon will be perplexed when she walks in and discovers Phyllis sitting at a table with Nick and Summer. Nick will push the girls to discuss their ordeal and figure out what comes next, so Sharon will be on board. Phyllis will essentially act as if it's worth a shot, especially since no one save Sharon understands what they went through. Meanwhile, Tessa Porter will see Daniel in Society's bar and will once again serve as his confidant, offering advice following his conversation with Sharon. Mariah Copeland will still be feeling bad over Ian Ward's plot, so Daniel will decide to talk to her and relieve her mind. After Daniel expresses his gratitude to Tessa, he intends to tell Mariah how fortunate she is to have her. The Young and the Restless spoilers claim Daniel has a startling new plot coming up soon, so we'll bring you more information on what's ahead. According to the Young and the Restless spoilers, another unexpected twist in the Aristotle Dumas plot is on the way. This reclusive billionaire, whose picture has never been released online, has long been shrouded in mystery. Of course, the name Aristotle Dumas appears to have been selected rather than given to him at birth. The Dumas section was undoubtedly chosen as a tribute to Alexander Dumas, the author of The Count of Monte Cristo. Perhaps Aristotle, or whatever his real first name is, connected with Damian Kane via their shared love of their book. That could be why Aristotle chose to bring Damian into his organization and allow him to oversee some businesses. Victor has a history with Aristotle since they used to compete for business, but Aristotle would always disappear. However, Victor already stated that he had never met Aristotle. Aristotle's disappearing act was more of a situation in which he simply stopped competing. This unknown man would strike and then vanish, seemingly removing himself from the action. The intriguing part is that they keep emphasizing the fact that no one knows what Aristotle looks like. That opens up a couple of choices, both of which could entail Billy Flynn's imminent debut. Y&R is clearly enticing supporters to assume Aristotle is older, or at least old enough to genuinely compete with Victor. What if the twist is that Aristotle is decades younger, which explains why he's kept a low profile? Billy Flynn is portraying Aristotle Dumas. Perhaps he developed this mystery persona to ensure that he was taken seriously despite being younger than many of his competitors. Flynn is 39 years old already, but Aristotle has been in business long enough to have made billions of dollars and built a tremendous empire. However, there is another alternative to consider here. What if Aristotle discreetly resigned or died, leaving his son with the keys to the kingdom and continuing to use his name? Perhaps Billy Flynn's debut will disclose that Aristotle is his father, and he has taken over for him at this time. That would explain why there is still so much mystery about Aristotle and YNR's build-up to the big reveal. Whatever the case, Aristotle's name will appear as a caller on Billy Abbott's phone in the March 24th episode. Billy and Aristotle's union may cause difficulties for Victor, so stay tuned for updates on the terrible news that is building. According to the Young and the Restless spoilers, Victor will make some predictions about bringing Aristotle out of hiding, but he may be surprised when it happens. According to the Young and the Restless spoilers on Wednesday, March 19th, Martin Laurent alias Alan Laurent will face his final option, while Tracy Abbott requires assistance. Sharon Newman will also want the truth, so this is what YNR fans can expect. For starters, Tracy will consider Alan's suggestion to visit Paris and look into potential wedding venues. Will Tracy agree to Alan's unexpected vacation there? Tracy will seek guidance from Diane Jenkins Abbott and Jack Abbott in Wednesday's program. That could provide Tracy an opportunity to express her concerns about Alan's unusual conduct and impetuous streak. However, Jack and Diane may find no cause to be frightened. Diane and Jack might persuade Tracy to take this Paris trip with Alan and simply enjoy the wedding preparation process. Of course, there are legitimate concerns because Alan's mentally unstable twin, Martin, appears to be alive and acting as his brother. Martin's secrets, especially his role in the Havenhurst captivity disaster, could be about to blow up. Therefore, he may be plotting this Paris escape as a last resort. Tracy could face harsh consequences, especially if Martin gets her out of the country. Sharon has asked Nick Newman to join her in Europe, so he will respond at Crimson Lights. Sharon hopes Nick will accompany her on her trip with Faith Newman so that they can all spend time with Noah Newman. This will spark a more in-depth conversation concerning Sharon and Nick's current situation. Sharon's admission that she occasionally fantasizes about a romantic reunion would make her question if Nick does the same. Sharon will encourage Nick to be open about his emotions, so he must determine how to proceed. Will Nick admit to wanting more than friendship or try to keep things platonic? Sharon will eagerly await Nick's updates, so stay tuned to see if his candor will bode well for their relationship. Across town, it appears that Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson will finally let passion to take control. All signs point to Chelsea and Adam getting back into bed together, so they'll make more predictions about their happy future. According to the Young and the Restless spoilers, Adam and Chelsea's future appears to be bright right now, but new challenges will arise sooner or later. According to the Young and the Restless teasers, Kyle Abbott and Claire Newman will violate the rules with a surprise twist. Summer Newman appears to be left out of this couple's next journey, so let's discuss what's in store. Claire and Kyle will do something out of the ordinary from March 24th to 28th. Kyle and Claire will break the rules in some way, so they will go for a walk on the wild side. It is feasible that it will involve something that isn't all that serious, such as getting a peek at Diane Jenkins Abbott's Abbott home remodeling conclusion or perhaps organizing some surprise for Harrison Abbott. Kyle and Claire may also break into an unauthorized location. Kyle may have a romantic idea for Claire that necessitates some rule breaking. Kyle and Claire could also become more entangled in the kidnapping storyline. Could Claire and Kyle breach the rules to find out who is holding Phyllis Summers and Sharon Newman captive? Kyle is aware that Alan Laurent alias Martin Laurent got some clinic security breach warnings on his phone, thanks to Tracy Abbott. Kyle may become concerned as a result of this, prompting him to investigate further. Given the right circumstances, Kyle and Claire could easily play detectives together. It would be entertaining to watch Claire and Kyle unearth new clues before making any predictions about the case. Regardless, Claire and Kyle will reportedly band together and become rule breakers in the process, so they should have some time without Summer interfering for once. According to the Young and the Restless spoilers, Kyle and Claire will get closer in the coming scenes, but Summer will continue to try to rip them apart in the months ahead. Are you rooting for Claire or Summer to get with Kyle? Will Summer's meddling ruin Claire and Kyle's relationship, or will she fail to win him over? Fans of The Young and the Restless can expect plenty of surprises in this love triangle, so stay tuned for more. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, March 19th, reveal that Martin Laurent aka Alan Laurent will face his last resort while Tracy Abbott needs help. Sharon Newman will also want the truth, so here's what Y&R fans can look forward to. For starters, Tracy will mull over Alan's idea to jaunt over to Paris and check out some possible wedding spots. Will Tracy get on board with Alan's plan to take a trip there so suddenly? Tracy will turn to Diane Jenkins Abbott and Jack Abbott for advice in Wednesday's episode. That could give Tracy a chance to confess some worries regarding Alan's strange behavior and impulsive streak. However, Jack and Diane may not see any reason to be too alarmed. Diane and Jack might give Tracy a nudge to take this Paris trip with Alan and just enjoy the wedding planning process. Of course, there are indeed reasons to be concerned since Alan's mentally disturbed twin, Martin, appears to be alive and playing the part of his brother. Since Martin's secrets, including his role in the Havenhurst captivity chaos, could be on the verge of blowing up, he may be planning this Paris escape as a last resort. Tracy could be in serious trouble, especially if Martin gets her out of the country. Crimson Lights, Nick Newman will give Sharon an answer now that she's asked him to join her in Europe. Sharon is hoping Nick will be part of her trip with Faith Newman and that they can all go spend time with Noah Newman. This will lead to a deeper discussion about where things truly stand between Sharon and Nick. After Sharon admits she sometimes thinks about a romantic reunion, she'll wonder if that thought ever crosses Nick's mind too. Sharon will encourage Nick to be honest about what's in his heart, so he'll have to decide how to proceed. Will Nick confess to wanting more than friendship or try to keep things platonic instead? Sharon will eagerly await Nick's updates, so stay tuned to see if his honesty will mean good news for their relationship. Cross town, it looks like Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson will finally let passion take control. All signs point to Chelsea and Adam landing back in bed together, so they'll make more predictions about the positive road they're headed down. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Adam and Chelsea's future seems bright at the moment, but fresh obstacles should be coming up sooner or later.